Okay, we are ready to work on the inside of our album. So we are going to create our pages and our cover page, getting ready for the binding system. So I've prepared all my pieces. I've got everything to size, and I'm going to start with this first piece that is 8.5 inches, and I'm going to score it at the 1 inch mark and at the 2.25 inch mark. And I am working on a cutting guide, so once that's available it will be on my website. So 2 score marks, and then for our pages, these are 11 inches long by 6.25, and we are going to score them. All of them are going to be scored the same at the 6.25 inch mark. So I'm going to score this at 6.25. So really easy. So I'm doing that for all 4 of them. And I used 12 inch paper, so I had 1 inch left, and one of those I've used and I've scored down the middle. That's going to be a template for my binding. And I had one more that I've cut down to about 7/8 of an inch. So just cut it down a little bit. So we can just fold on that score line, and then our page is actually prepared for decorating. So I'm just making sure that everything is nicely lined up, and I am burnishing that fold there. So the shorter page is 1/2 inch longer than in the crystal album. So if you want to have it like in the crystal album that was 4.25, then you just cut your papers to 10.5 inches. Just that easy. And I just wanted to have a little bit more play area, so that's why it's a little bit longer. So here, this is the cover page. We are going to fold and burnish on both our score lines. And then we have that part prepared, and this is what that should look like. And we are going to use our template now. So that's a 1 inch strip that we've scored down the middle, and I'm going to burnish that fold, and I'm also going to fold it in the other direction halfway. And it was not really cooperating, so I had a little bit more trouble to get that nicely burnished on that fold, but eventually I got there. So that where those fold lines are meeting in the middle, that's our center point of this piece, and I'm going to mark it with a pencil for you a little bit better to see. But I'm going to pierce a hole in that paper with my paper piercer, and see, that is where those score lines are meeting. I should have used a piercing mat, and I have one, but I don't know why I didn't use it, but I was making it harder than necessary for myself here. So then I'm also marking on the middle score line 3/8 of an inch from the bottom, and I do the same thing from the top, and also make pierce a hole there on that score line. So make sure that I go through all the way. And then I do the same thing on the other side. And then those are my 3 holes that I'm going to need for my binding. So again, I'm going 3/8 of an inch from that side as well. So there we go. Making sure I'm all the way through again. And so this is my template that I'm going to use on every piece. So in my crystal album, I only had 2 holes. I didn't have that center hole, and that's perfectly fine, it worked, but I think that this might give a little bit more of a sturdy result, so that's why I'm doing it with 3 holes this time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark on my template what is the top, so I'm doing it in the same direction on every piece, and I'm going to determine in what order I want to have my pages. So I'm starting with the larger one on top, and then the 2 smaller one in meeting. Yeah, you can see that right here how I'm choosing to do that, and then I'm going to write down the number of that page really small in the top corner. Later you will see that. So here I'm placing the template, lining the score lines up, so the score line of the template with the page, and I am going to pierce those holes on the score line of my page. So I'm just doing it quickly right there, and then I'm going to go through the whole way. And again, if I was using my piercing mat here, it would be a lot easier. Okay, so then I'm going to do that for every page. So here I mark number 1, this is going to be my first page, and then I also know that I keep it in the right direction. So I'm going to do that for all my pages. And once I've done that, I am putting that to the side, because first we are going to decorate the pages before we are going to actually bind them on the cover page. So I'm showing you that I've marked all 4 of my pages there. Okay, get that to the side and work on our cover page. So you're going to open up your fold and we are going to make our marks in between our score lines. And I'm doing that 3/8 of an inch from the bottom. So I'm lining that up. And then I make a mark every 1/4 of an inch. So then you should have 4 marks with a 1/4 of an inch space between them. And I will do the same thing on top. So again, 3/8 of an inch from the top. And mark every 1/4 of an inch. Really easy to do. And then I'm getting my template back in. And make sure that I have my page in the right orientation and my template in the right orientation. And I'm going to find my pencil mark in the top hole and in the bottom hole so that that is lined up. And then I mark that center point with my pencil, and I just move it to the next one, a 1/4 of an inch further, and mark it. And so I do this for all 4 marks that are going to be, each row is 1 page. So the last one, I don't know why I show you all 4, but okay, so all those marks are made, and so we can pierce that in the paper as well. And I got a little bit smarter, I got my piercing mat here, so that goes much easier. Just pierce all the holes. There we go. So now on the outer strip of this paper, I'm going to place some double-sided tape, and you want to stay away from your score line about 1/8 of an inch. So I'm placing some a little bit away from the score line and along the edge. And I'm trying to show you that I stayed away from that score line a little bit, but it's pretty hard to see. And then I'm getting the acetate, and the acetate is not quite the same measurement in both directions, so make sure that you have it in the right direction. Now, as you can see, my acetate is a little damaged because I screwed up my first attempt on this. But I'm also placing some double-sided tape along that edge that I'm going to stick on that on my cardstock. And what I actually screwed up is I was piercing the holes on this piece of cardstock on my score lines, and I don't know why I did that. I just wasn't thinking, so I realized it too late, but I was able to rip it all apart and start over. And now this is the hard part. You want to have this nicely lined up, so I'm going to place my acetate carefully on the cardstock, lining up the bottom edge and then also the top edge from this point of view, but it's upside down now. And then burnish it, and again make sure that you stay away from that score line a little bit. So I give that a good burnish, and now we want to clean up that inside, of course. So I've got that strip that I've cut down to about 7/8 of an inch by 6 1/4, and I'm going to make sure that I can line up the cut edge of both pieces of cardstock and stay away from my score line, and in this case that was fine. So I'm placing my double-sided tape on this whole piece. I used 3 strips of a 1/4 inch tape. Remove the tape backing, and I just remove it completely, all the pieces, and then I'm going to carefully line it up, and I'm having my eye on the cut edge of both the pieces, so those two are nicely lined up, and then of course also the bottom and the top edge. So this acetate came with the kit that I've used, and I showed you that in the first video. So I'm showing you that it's important that you're still able to see your score line after you've done all of these steps, so you can close this part up nicely. Side cover, oh yeah, I'm going to clean up this outside now. Here I did it in one piece, but I'm going to do it in two pieces now, because in the crystal kit I didn't like how that folded, how that pattern paper folded. So this whole piece will be attached on the backside cover when we're ready to do so. And now I am going to cut my paper to size for those, for the pieces there. So this is 1 inch and this is 1 1/4. So I've decided to cut a piece that is 2 inches in width by 6 1/8 of an inch, and now I'm going to cut that at one piece will be 7/8 of an inch, and then the other side will be 1 1/8 of an inch. So line that up, and I always have a hard time cutting straight in this trimmer, so but there we go. And then that will fit on there. And I was trying to say that I found this acetate too much to combine with the pattern paper on my front inside cover for this album. So that's why I've used clear acetate on the pocket there. So I'm just using my art glitter glue here, I'm just laying it flat and I'm trying to get that nicely lined up on that front piece. And also in the crystal album I've binded my pages onto this first and then covered up my yarn with the pattern paper, and that was perfectly fine, that works. So if you want to do that, you have to wait with this until you've binded your pages in there. But I'm going to choose to have it shown on purpose this time. And if you're not sure about that, then just wait until you see the end result and then you can decide on what you want to do with that. But I think it's kind of fun. So I've covered up the holes now in the cardstock, so I need to re-punch those holes. So I'm carefully punching them now from this side, and then I'm going to turn it over. Oh, and I'm also showing you that I didn't put any pattern paper on the inside of this binding piece, so I'm just going to leave that white. So I'm turning it over now, and now I'm punching the holes completely because I did it. Now I can make it go in on the pattern paper. So I think that's better than to punch it all the way from the other side. So now this piece is ready. Well, I'm going to decorate the back cover, of course, but I'm going to do that as one of the last things that I do. So now I'm ready to get these pages decorated and in there. So this is prepared. So what I also want to show you is that with the, I used 12 by 12 pieces of cardstock, and I had quite a, yeah, it's not even actually called a scrap, but it's a large piece that I had left over, and I'm going to cut my photo mats from that. So these large photo mats are 3.5 inches by 5 1/4. So I'm going to use my pieces that were 5 3/4. I'm going to cut them down to the 5 1/4, and then I can cut 3 photo mats out of this large piece. So I'm also going to cut that to the 3.5 now. And I just wanted to show you that maybe in the beginning you think, whoa, this gives me a lot of scrap pieces. I need to use a lot of my 12 by 12 papers. That's true, but you can use your scraps to make your photo mats. And in this case, I'm going to place a photo mat with the white cardstock and then put the photo on top. It's going to be a bulky album anyway. So I'm also using these scraps to cut some 4 1/4 by 3 1/4 photo mat, so I can place a full 3 by 4 on there. And I am also going to cut some 3 by 4s. So I'm not sure if I'm going to use those a lot, I will see. And if I'm not using them in this album, I will definitely use them somewhere else. It's a photo size that I've used quite a lot in my album, so I'm just also using some scraps to cut some 3 by 4s. And then the small pieces I'm not throwing away as of yet. Well, the really small one, yes, but I can use it for my fuzzy cutting later on. So what I am going to do is I'm going to draw that detailed work on these photo mats. Yes, call me crazy, I know it's a lot of work, but I don't mind doing it. So I'm going to do that and be prepared for decorating the pages. And I'm going to do my best to film some of the decorating so I can show you what I'm doing. And then when all of the pages are done, then we are going to bind them in the album. So now it's time for the actual fun So this is all prepared now. So thank you for watching, enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope to see you in the next one.